Get set for the $30,000 Candlepin Challenge, brought to you by American Car Care Centers in conjunction with CN8 and the International Candlepin Bowling Association. Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to the Woburn Bowlerdrome. John Holt with Dan Murphy, and a week ago we got a new champ in Shawn Baker.
Unbelievable. He was surely the better bowler last week, and as I mentioned at the end of the show last week, in the 1-2 pocket, he just annihilates the pins, and he had a shot at Dave Hodge in that third spot at 285. As we'll show the top three, and there you see it there. Jeff Surratt still sits at the top, Bob Whitcomb, and Dave Hodge got to be a little nervous with this guy bowling.
Yeah, we'll see if Shawn can make a run at that 285 total today. Of course, he'll have to beat one of the challengers. To meet them, we go over to Trina Fernandez. Trina?
Thank you, John. I'm over here with Stu Bergman and John Zappi, who are both back in the house. Been on already this season, and you're back again, Stu. Welcome back. Now, I see you brought a little fan club with you today. Who do you have?
I have my daughter Allison, my daughter Christy, my son Josh, and my wife Karen.
Nice-looking family over there. Now, the last time you were on, you won the Challenger match, and then you lost to Dead. Is that correct?
Right, yeah. I bowled Rich Hallberg, and then I bowled Dead afterwards. Yeah, it wasn't that great, but it was still fun to get on, so it was still a good experience. So.
No shame in losing to Debt.
No.
Now, hopefully, you'll fare a little better today. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. I just hope I can stay focused and throw a good ball, because John's a great guy and an awesome bowler, so I'll do my best.
Speaking of John, let's head over to you, John. You've been on, what, 4 times already this season?
4 times, yeah, 4 times.
And you hoping to make it into the finals?
I hope so. I'll give it a shot, but, you know, you got to get past this first string first before anything, so, you know, hopefully I can throw a good ball.
It's all about that head pin.
That's it. You know, head pin and pin, and that's it.
All right, well, best of luck to both of you. We'll head back over to you, John.
Trina, thanks. Shawn, last week it appeared for a while in the second game. You may make a run at that 285 that Dave Hodge had, the third spot in the top 2 game totals. Are you aware of that number in your head? I know it's a group you want to be part of, but are you aware of it?
Yeah, you can't help but being aware of it. You know, you try to forget about it, and you try and just bowl and, you know, hope everything works out for you. But yeah, you know, it's there.
Don't be surprised if he makes a run at it today. Good luck.
Thank you.
We're back with the Challengers match right after this on CN8. Once again, we're soaring with Ace, the American Car Care Center's Eagle, and the mascot. Glad to have them as a title sponsor again this season as we wind down this and 2 other regular season shows remaining as we get set for the big championship in a couple weeks at Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill. But first, some business to tend to today in the Challengers match. Pitting John Zappi, pictured right there, versus Stu Bergman, the winner to take on Shawn Baker. It's a 1-game Challengers match, just 10 frames, the better score advancing. John Zappi, the left-hander, opens by dropping 9 on lane 35.
Leaves just the 9 pin. A couple pieces of wood on either side.
John from Quincy, Massachusetts, and he'll start with a mark. Well done. Spare in the first. John was on earlier in the season, had some success. Back again with us today. He'll fill it up with some 7 pins. And another mark. 2 in a row. Super start.
Another bowler has been with us numerous times, Stu Bergman.
Stu for Millis. He'll open by dropping 9.
The difference in this 9-pin drop is the 5. It's the 5 left up instead of the 9, as John Zappi had. Trying to match marks.
Takes out the kingpin for a mark of his own in the first. Take a look at Stu Bergman's family, right in the front row to root Dad on. It's a fill of 7.
Matches the 7-pin drop by John Zappi. However, to match the second mark that John put up, he's going to have to deal with a 3, 7, and 10. A couple pieces of wood behind the 3, which may help. Oh, yes, he does get it.
Well done. 2 marks apiece.
Not quite sure if the ball stayed in play for that 7-pin or not, but let's take a look. Yes, the ball came back down and knocked down that 7-pin. So we're knotted up at 27 plus the ball for each bowler.
Here's the fill in the 3rd for John. Right up the gut. Spread eagle drops 4. Two, 4, 7, 3, 6, 10. It's the 4 and the 7. So 2 marks to start with. Open now in the 3rd frame. Leaves 1 pin up. He's got a total of 40 through 3.
Moves over to lane 36. Remember, 1-string match, our sprint version of the show, and winner of this takes on our one-time champ, Shawn Baker. Oh, big strike by John Zappi. As they say, he zapped them all.
Spare, open, then a strike. Now to Stu coming off a spare in the 2nd. He'll fill it up in the 3rd. Sporting that average of 115. And the fill is worth 6.
Good enough for a 2-pin advantage through the 2nd frame. Opposite a 9 box by John Zappi, and he's going to try to convert the 1, 3, 6, and 8, trying to make it 3 marks in a row for Stu Bergman. Going by the head pin.
$10 box. He's got a lead of 3 pins at 43-40. Now, of course, opposite the strike in the 4th. Does he have an answer?
Well, it's good enough for a strike, but he leaves himself the 8 and 10 pins. Difficult spare. Got a couple pieces of wood, should help. Better with them than without, I suppose. He's going to shoot at the 10 pin, the piece of wood in front of that one, and see if he can get something to come off the wall.
The 10 will go. Nine in the 4th. So he's up 2, but John Zappi, of course, has the 2 fill balls coming off the strike here in the 5th. First half nets him 6. Leaves the 4 horsemen over to the right, 1, 3, 6, 10. Picks off the 3, so it's a total fill of 7.
Gives him the lead by 5.
And an 8 box when it's all said and done, pushing the score to 65. How about that? Likes that lane.
He does. 2 strikes, the last 2 boxes on lane 36. In the 1-2 pocket, and just scrambles all the pins for that second strike, his 4th mark of the match.
Now Stu.
Oh boy, that looked as good, if not better, than most shots that either bowler have had. Leaves himself to 7, 8, and 9. Piece of wood in front of the 9. Almost like he's going to have to go after, like the 10 pin was standing, and clip that wood.
That's what he does. It gets him just the 9, so 7 and the 8 remain in the back row. And that's the 9 box, 2 in a row now. He's to 61, and he's opposite the strike in the 6th. Stu has been mark free since those 2 to begin things in the 1 and 2. Opportunity now, 1, 3, 6, 10. The wood rolling off just a little bit towards the channel on the right. It's only the 3. So the difference right now, the 2 strikes in the 4th and 6th from John Zappi. And a big opportunity to pad his lead here in the 7th. Coming off the strike back in the 6th frame.
Stu recently won his first Pro Tour event. Been on the Pro Tour for quite a few years and probably broke through into the winner's circle. Congratulations to Stu.
So the first half of the fill gets 7. It leaves the 4, 7, and the 9. And plenty of wood to contend with, too. There's a good look. Total of 8 on the fill. And a 9 box. So he's at 92. That lead stretched to 14 now.
Well, he's back on that lane 36. Let's see, he can throw another strike. It'll be 3 in a row on 36. Doesn't count for the strike pool, though.
You sure? And he will not do it. We won't have to double check the rule book.
Yeah, I probably would have given it to him.
Joe Cassio may have filed a complaint over that one.
I think so. 2, 4, 7 left for John. Still a chance for a mark over that late 36. Been so good to him, and another mark.
Bowling very consistently, and that's
marked every time on lane 36.
Been the hallmark for him. He now has a total of 5 marks, 4 in that lane 36. Back to Stu, 7th box now. Gets 6 to go with the first ball. 1, 3, 7, 8.
Oh, great shot. Keeps himself alive here. He's opposite a 9 box. So that cuts the lead to 13. He can reduce it more with this ball. You see the replay off the wall for the 7 and the 8 pins.
Hoping for the big healthy fill. Here we go.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Nearly all 10.
Climbs to within 4, and he can match the spare put up by John Zappi in the 8th by knocking down the 5 pin. Piece of wood out in front. Oh, a little high on it. He kind of threw his hands up in the air, but he was able to keep it in play and a mark. 3 in a row.
It's a 4-pin advantage as both bowlers marked in the 8th, 102 to 98. Now to John Zappi. Important fill as we start the 9th frame.
Oh, big ball.
Can't beat that.
You see the strike on spare. His 6th mark out of 9 boxes.
And 3 of them are strikes.
And now he's on his favorite lane. Oh boy, he put the ball in the pocket, but leaves himself to 3, 6, and 9 on the right with the 7-pin, but a piece of wood is low on the red line, just below the right of the red line. He's got a shot of carrying the ball off that wood, and the wood taking the 7. Got a chance here. Oh, right between them.
Total fill of 8. And the last ball now for John Zappi. Misses to the right, so 138 is the score. That's a 40-pin advantage on Stu Bergman, who has 2 frames remaining.
And working on a spare. And a strike for Stu.
Things just got considerably tighter thanks to that strike.
Still trailing by the 4 pins. So he's going to need another mark, because there you see the strike, because John Zappi had an 8 fill on his strike. So he's going to need another mark. Got a chance.
7 to start the fill.
1, 3, and 6. Needs this. Oh.
Can't get it.
So close. And if he knocks these 2 down, he'll be short a couple pins. But what a valiant effort by Stu Bergman, going 3 marks in a row.
And he does get both. Wow, super tight finish. 138-136. 2-pin win for John Zappi. That was some good bowling. So it's Zappi on to the championship. We're back with the start right after this. We're back, all set for the championship match. John Zappi versus the reigning champ, who won last week. That'd be Shawn Baker, who knocked off Bob Whitcomb. Glad you're with us on CN8. John Holt, Dan Murphy, and our CN8 crew as we wind down the regular season on the $30,000 Candlepin Challenge. Both these bowlers looking to crack that top 3, of course. Final taping. And what a start from Shawn Baker.
You know, last week I went over some of his personal stats, but I didn't realize what a great year he's having. Leader Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire has an Easter Sunday, a 20-game tournament, and he won that with a total of 27.08. You people do the math. That's 135 plus for 20 games.
Wow.
He's also was the runner-up in the Lovering tournament in Maine, and that's where he hit his high 5 of 775. And he's also crowned this year Bowler of the Year on the WCBC Pro Tour. And how you get that is they have 6 tournaments, and they take the total for your best 5. And he came out on top, so he's Bowler of the Year of the Pro Tour as well. So he's having a terrific year, and he'd love to cap it off and being one of our top 3 bowlers for that final show in a few weeks.
Spare on strike for Shawn. Great start. Now to John. Two-game championship match. And a spare from John Zappi.
You see him splitting the 1 and the 2 pins, and the head pin goes down, clear down in the right-hand corner for the 10. Dropping 8. How about a dropping 10?
Apparently, John Zappi is not intimidated by Shawn Baker's resume this year.
Hey, Shawn, I'm still here, John says. And here's he drops 8. Pin comes rolling back, clips the 4 into the 2 for the strike on spare. We're all knotted at 30, plus 1 ball for Shawn, 2 for John Zappi.
And it's a fill of 8. They keep falling.
The 1 and the 8 pins left, piece of wood in front of the 8, which is always good. You got to be flush on the head pin, drive it straight back. With the wood, he may get away with just missing the head pin, but he's straight on it. 3 in a row, no stopping him. Right where he left off. Ouch.
Finally a little let up.
Ouch. Couldn't even steal the half Worcester. Got just the 2-pin. How does that happen? Good
Nearly
recovery.
bounced back with a spare. So he's open now in the fourth. .58 through 4. Now John coming off the strike in the second. There goes the lefty.
Missing the head pin off to the right. Leaves himself the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. No wood.
Second part of the fill. Couple more. Total of 7. That puts John some 4 pins behind Shawn through 3. And he is open in the third after Shawn had the spare. Takes out 8 to make it 9.
Just the 5-pin, the king left.
Chance for John's third mark. Yes, sir. They're going back and forth, these two bowlers. Shawn owns that high single of 213. Powerful, explosive 9-pin drop.
It really is. Just amazing a person can throw it as hard as he does and still be as accurate as he is.
There's another mark. He has 4 over the first 5, 3 spares in that opening strike. Fill ball in the 6th. It's a fill of 4.
Last time just a 1 fill over there. He pulled the ball left again, threw his arms up like he may do that same thing, but he squeaked out 4. Boy, he makes that recovery though.
Puts him at 81 through 6. Now John Zappi with the fill in the 5th. Gets 7 to go.
He's got the triangle 6, 9, 10. And a piece of wood next to the 6, and I think it can cover the 9-pin. To wait to see how deep it is. Looks like it should cover all 3.
There's another mark. Just like the competition, 4 over the first 5.
And we're all knotted up. John Zappi will take the lead, whatever he drops in this ball. Just 5. 4 horsemen plus the 9-pin on the right. And converts that, so
5 of 6. John Zappi's hot. Shawn Baker nearly as hot. take a look at the replay. Mark number 5 over the first 6 frames for John Zappi. We're back with more bowling right after this on CNA. Welcome back to Woburn. Shawn Baker all set to go. He's locked up in a good one from challenger John Zappi. 4 marks over 6 for Baker, 5 over the first 6 for Zappi.
We've seen that pin before, the 6, a rocking 6 this time. If looks could knock down pins, that one would have fallen over, just that. A spare.
That's his 4th spare to go with that strike. See what he can do on the fill. Last couple fills, a 1 and a 4. Better this time. It's a 7.
3, 7, 10. Couple pieces of wood next to and behind the 3 pin. He's going to have to use that 3 if he wants to convert for a spare.
Got it. We have got 2 talented bowlers duking it out.
A righty and a lefty. Yeah, you see the conversion of the 3, 7, 10 for Shawn Baker. Recent streak at 2 in a row. 6 marks out of 8 boxes.
Zappi now. That's a fill of 8. Has the 4 and the 7 left. Trickier for a lefty, though.
John very smooth when he delivers the ball. Trying to convert for his 6th mark. And he does.
Uses the wood to his advantage.
The cagey veteran he is. Double piece of wood. He was able to convert that for 4 consecutive strikes, and like I said, 6 marks out of 7 boxes. 4 consecutive spares. Did I say strikes?
4 spares in a row.
He wishes it was 4 spares. 4. 4 is a number. 4. I knew 4 was coming someplace. It's a fill. Sorry, John.
So another box open, only the 2nd for him over the first 8. 118.
10-pin advantage for John, temporarily anyways, and Shawn's going to fill a spare. He'll cut into that lead. It's amazing. Through boxes, we only had 4 open frames for both bowlers, 2 each.
So he fills with 6. That's the 1, 3, 7, and 8 to contend with. Gets just the 8.
We mentioned how proficient he was on marks last week. I think his lowest fill were 6, 7. Everything else was 8, 9, and 10. This week he's got a 1 fill, a 4 fill, and a 7 and a 6. So he's been quite efficient this week, although he's thrown a lot of marks.
Final box, game 1.
One, 3, 9, and 10.
That leaves the 7 and the 10. So it's 9 to finish with, pushes the total to 133 game 1 for Shawn Baker. just above his average of 130.
Well, John's leading by 4 through 8 frames. Chance for him to build a sizable lead with a couple marks.
This is the head pin to the left. Takes out 7. Time for Earl to take a look at the situation.
I hope it's not a no-look pass this time, because he can knock pins down. No, it's close enough for him to go all the way down, but still in play.
Possible spare situation for John Zappi.
Oh, what a shot. Got by the wood, clipped the head pin. Used the head pin to bounce the ball off that for the 4 and 7. Take a look. Great shot. Chance for him to build his lead.
Here's the fill in the 10th.
Oh, boy.
Disappointing.
Increases it by 2, up to 6 pins, but was looking for more, obviously. Oh, great recovery, though.
What an answer. 8 marks in 10 frames. Plus the extra ball upcoming.
He's got 140 plus this ball.
Five more. Gives him 145. More than halfway to the total of Dave Hodge at 285. And it's a 12-pin advantage for John Zappi. Game 1 in the books. Game 2 to start next right here on CNA. We want to invite you to our final taping on June 5th. This is the one to be at.
That's absolutely, you know, the top 3. We've been building this all season long, and this is what all the bowlers are shooting for. Yeah, they like to win, but they want to get in the top 3. $5,000 to the top man that day. Tape time is at 1 o'clock, but don't be fooled, folks. You should be there at least by noon. We expect a big crowd, so come join us. Pilgrim Lanes, Haverhill, Massachusetts, June 5th.
All set for game 2 of today's championship match. John Zappi, the challenger, in the lead by some 12 pins, and he will go first, as is traditional here in the second game, up 145, 133 over Shawn Baker. The lefty versus the righty, the challenger versus the champ. Coming off an 8-mark game 1 is John Zappi. Open air, of course, in the first after we say that.
Oh, you're just getting the open frames out of the way early.
It's a 9 to start for John.
No wasted motion in John's delivery. Very smooth. Perfectly balanced when he lets that ball go.
6-spin drop. 1, 3, 7 and 10 remaining. Gets the head pin, but leaves the 3 others.
Well, he'll be open the first 2 frames, leading by a mere 12 pins.
His game 2 total at 17 right now. Here's Shawn, won last week, defeating Bob Whitcomb to take over the championship. Hoping to make it 2 weeks in a row this week. off the head pin to the left, gets 6 to fall. It leaves the 1, the 3, and the 4 and 7.
They're gone.
And a mark. So an opening statement from Shawn Baker, frame 1.
Plays it on the left-hand side. And ball breaking a little bit from right to left, so it was natural for it to break off the head pin into the 2 in the corner, the 4-7. Just 6. 4 horsemen left. 1, 2, 4, 7.
Cannot get the 2. Got the 1 and then the 4-7 in the corner. So he's open in the second.
Gain another in count, though. He's opposite an 8 box. Going to make it really close.
And he does just that.
How about 3 pins now for John Zappi?
9-pin advantage in the game for Shawn, but he trails by 3 overall. Back to John Zappi. Frame 3. On the head pin, but it gets him just 4.
Just drive it right through the middle. 2-4 on the left. Then he's got the 3-6-9-10 on the right. I'm trying to split the 2 and the 4, I'm sure. And he did it. Oh, that close. Fine effort by John Zappi.
Final ball, 3rd frame. It's 10 bucks. 27. Had only 2 open frames all of game 1. Already 3 open here, game 2. Half of them go, half of them stay. 1, 2, 4, 7. Also the 9 in the back row.
Wood right in between the 1 and the 2, though. I think if he splits that, it's going to deflect the ball. Well, after throwing 8 marks the first game, he's going to be open the first 4 of this game, but still holds a slim lead.
That's 9. That lead may be in jeopardy now as Shawn Baker steps back up. He is opposite at 10 box in the 3rd. Misses to the left, still got 8 to go. 1 and 3 hanging around. Misses again. Can't get that head pin. It's elusive. Got it that time. 10 bucks of his own. Keep pace.
Yeah, matching 10 boxes. Now it's a 9 up there for John Zappi already in the 4th.
And there you go with a 9-pin drop.
Looking at the 5-pin.
If he can get the kingpin, it'll be a second mark of game 2.
Oh.
Missed to the right. And all of a sudden, the pursuit of Dave Hodge and his 285 total has slowed.
Yeah, I think both bowlers now concerned with the match. Very close. 2 pins now for our challenger, John Zappi.
Here we go. Frame 5. 9 of 10 go down.
Leaves the 4-pin. Deeper in the match you go, these pins start to look like pencils down there. No.
Speaking of pencils, he'd like to erase that roll.
These bowlers are I'm starting to think that they have something to do next week and they don't want to come back. Both bowlers missing some big opportunities to take control of the match. Neither can do it. And I always kid all the people I bowl with that. Once you miss a single like this, John's probably going to throw an 8, 9, or a strike. Make you feel real bad about missing the single because of the great fill you would have. So let's see if it works out. No, not this time. Spread eagle.
2, 4, 7, 3, 6, 10. Got 4 to go. 6 remain.
How the game can turn on you.
Gets 1 more. That was the 2. That's 8 in the 6th. At 54, Shawn Baker can just post a mark here. He'll slide into the overall lead.
Oh, there's a big strike.
That counts. That qualifies. So a spare back in the 1st, now a strike in the 5th for the reigning champ.
Now there's the situation I was telling you about. He missed a single in the box before. Racing a 10-pin advantage in those boxes by missing that single, but he's got the strike working and he can take it to lead, anything over 2. Looking for the double, leaves himself to 3 and a 10. Spare on strike.
Well done by Shawn Baker, turning up the heat on John Zappi. 4 boxes to go. We'll bring you the finish next on CN8. Welcome back. 4 frames to go. Shawn Baker in good shape now. Spare on strike in the 5th and 6th frames. His lead in the game at 22, and now overall at some 10 pins. John Zappi's going to need to mark.
Yeah, advantage Shawn Baker right now, but you can't count this guy out. You'd think he would be due. He's open first 6 frames. He's got 4 remaining. He knows what he has to do.
Takes out 8. Chance here for the spare.
3 and 5 left. Got to be concentrating on the 3-pin.
Got it. Not going down without a fight.
Absolutely not. Oh boy.
Disappointing fill though. Only 3.
Yeah, that hurt. Hit the head pin when he was aiming for, but just flush. Couldn't even steal the spread eagle. Got the 1, 5, and 8 pins, and got the spread eagle plus the 9 left.
Can he recover with a spare? No. So that's an 8 box. The total at 75. And a big 7th frame for Shawn Baker because he had a strike in the 5th, spare in the 6th, and now the fill to start the 7th. Gets it for 7.
He wants to go right at this like the 10-pin was standing. Hit that wood high on the right. Oh, what am I talking about? Ball came back, knocks out the 4-7. There's two ways to make that. Murphy's way and Baker's way. And Baker wins out today. Watch the ball come back. Unbelievable.
Three in a row now. And he fills it with 9. Good chance for a 4th straight mark.
Unbelievable. You know how many times we've seen this the last couple of weeks. He looks like he's really struggling, and then all of a sudden he'll just tie marks together.
Earl on duty once again.
Oh, there was a little pirouette there. See the leg out, the arms out, perfectly balanced. Unbelievable. Shawn Baker trying to make it 4 marks in a row. Oh.
And he knew that from the release.
Yep. If he got that one, I think Dave Hodge might have been sitting up and taking notice.
Instead, it's 9, 111. The total in this game. John Zappi led by 12 after game 1, but game 2 has been a different story. Largely because Zappi is marked just once in the 7th. While Baker has marked 4 times, 2 times consecutively. That's 7 more added to the total, 82 for John Zappi. Just not his game here in game 2. Four-pin drop. See if he can finish with a mark and an extra ball.
Close to another mark, but not today for John Zappi.
Does pin out with 10 more to 92. That gives him a total of 237. And he is already officially cooked at this point. Shawn Baker will add 2 more frames to his score. Right up the middle.
Wow, 1 and 5. You know, I find simply amazing the last couple of weeks, I don't think we've had one half Worcester.
Not that anybody's keeping track of such things.
No.
But that's an interesting note.
In fact, I think we've seen more Earl sightings than half Worcesters the last couple of weeks. I don't know how many people are happy about that, but
Final box now for Shawn as he finishes up another championship win. And he'll get his final roll coming up.
next week's challengers is Norm Pelletier from Peabody, Massachusetts, and Pete Iannuzzo, son of a Hall of Famer from Reading, Massachusetts. One of those will be taking on Shawn Baker.
39 pin advantage in game 2 is the difference after being down 12 following the opening game. Shawn Baker retains his championship. We're back to wrap it up from Woburn right after this. 6 in a row for Shawn Baker as champ, and 2 weeks left for he or anybody else to break into that top 3 now.
You know, he hit 269 too, and he missed a couple easy ones. I think Dave still has to worry.
We'll find out next week, and of course 1 week after that before our final show of the season. Shawn Baker is back next week. We hope you are as well. For Dan Murphy and our CNA crew, I'm John Holt. Thanks for watching the $30,000 Candlepin Challenge.